You see, I have no doubts about what is going to come out of the tribunal thing. He remains a man of the people in the state of Osun, and he handed over to a very qualified successor as well. But let me tell you, you see, in party politics, people go into politics for different things. And of course, there's the issue of what they call equity, desire, ambition, and all that. All these things you must factor into issues that came to play different parts in how the APC fared vis-a-vis the performance of the PDP candidate in the last election. You see, in the build-up to the selection of our candidates, of course, there was this issue of zoning, in which case agitation were rife that having produced governor from certain parts of the state, the other part of the state ought to be the one to. Of course, you could say it's justified, but you see, in party politics, if you are principled and you really believe in the principle of your party, and it is not just because your own personal ego or personal interest must be satisfied at all times, and you are willing to make sacrifices, and you believe that, well, today it may not be your turn, but tomorrow it may be your turn. Whatever you are clamoring for today, you may even be saying that some other zones are having upper hand today. Tomorrow, believe that it may be your own turn to also have upper hand against those ones that are having the upper hand today. So, in a way, but if some of us could reason that way, some other people are not prepared to reason that way. Yes, people are grieved about the zoning thing, that in as much as the governor will not come from Osun West, it was going to be a kind of do or die matter. It was either you give us a candidate from Osun West and we support the party, or you don't give it to us, we break the whole thing. And that was what some people attempted to do. And so, to that extent, APC witnessed a kind of hemorrhage. Suffered some kind of loss of people, membership. So there was a kind of weakening, attempt to weaken the party, to the extent that some vital members of the party left. Some went to form other parties, some even stayed within to work against the party. Let me tell you, that's the truth. Some stayed back to work against the interests of the party, believing that, the other parties they are having alliances with, when they record victory, they will easily switch over. But thank God, the treachery, the betrayal, the breakaways were not strong enough to totally diminish APC and make it impossible for it to win. Yes, it took a substantial part of what will have been our votes, but it was still not enough for us to. Let me tell you, even in Ede, the PDP cannot claim that they allowed free and fair election to take place. In Ede, where the candidate of the PDP, Senator Adeleke, comes from, there was no election. There's no way you can go what happened in that place, an election. Why? Because it was a kind of threat. If you have anything, if you want to vote against PDP, then you better don't come. Because it's either you'll be gunned down, or you'll be macheted, or you'll be harassed. So if you didn't want to be harassed, it's better you leave the thing to them. And see, the governor of Rauf Aregbesola is not a kind of government that believes in repression, that believes in harassment. Otherwise, you are dealing with another kind of character, they will have had it rough. And that means election will not have taken place in such a place. But you see, we allowed free and fair election to take place. So they did all they could to prevent our members from voting in such part of Nede and a few other parts of the Osun West. But at the end of the day, yes, we won, though the margin was small. So internal crisis within the APC is what you could say really hampered our chances. And I know, at the end of the day, we have learned lessons, and I know that in future we are all going to make use of lessons that we have learned. But I must end on a particular note. If you belong to a political party and you really believe in the ideology and the ideas that that party stand for. Whichever candidate that party settles for, it is your duty as a responsible party member to go along with the party decision, and that is what they call party supremacy. Ogbeni is a man who has proved beyond every reasonable doubt that he's a leader. He's not just a leader, he's a visionary one. He's not just a visionary leader, he's a performer. Don't forget that the whole basis of the development of Lagos that we are all seeing today started with his involvement while serving as the Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There's no way you will write the story of the development of Osun, of Lagos. I'm sure you must have been in Lagos in the 90s, before 1999. Yeah. Those of us who were in Lagos before 1999, we know what Lagos was. This road that passes in front of your office here, we know what it was. This Agidingbi, we know what it was. Ikeja, we know what it was. Oshodi, we know what it was. VI, Victoria Island, we know what it was. Ikoyi, we know what it was. But today, you know what all those places, what they look like. You know the sanity that has been brought to Lagos from the madness that was characteristic of Lagos at that time. We know what was the revenue generation of Lagos in 1999. We know what it is now. I can tell you, go and find out. I am sure Lagos was not generating up to 800 million naira monthly IGR in 1999. But today, Lagos is boasting of how much? Like 30 billion naira every month. IGR. What happened? Do you think people who are paying taxes are just paying taxes? No, they are not just paying taxes. They are paying taxes because they are seeing what their taxes are doing for them. So, if Ogbeni had been so critical to there's no good governance anywhere without good infrastructure. Because first and foremost, that is what you use as your benchmark to say, look, things are happening. You want to drive on the road and the roads are smooth. You want to go to the hospital, you know that things are functioning there. You want security, you can see RRS people every now and then, both flying up, moving on bike everywhere, neighborhood and all that. How do you think the current government is able to finance all that? It is because a solid foundation had been laid under Tinubu. And who was critical to that? Tinubu was one of those who were critical, just like you have the likes of the current Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, the current Minister of Works, Babatunde Fashola, who was also a Chief of Staff at that time. So, if you look at it critically, you see that Ogbeni has gone through the crucibles. He has gone through the furnace. Ogbeni has been baked for any kind of leadership position, responsibility that you want to put on him. Presidency is not something that an Ogbeni will be too small for or will be too inexperienced for. This is a man who has been impactful in Lagos. He has made huge impact in Osun. And so, I don't know what other criteria. So when you say names are popping up, of course, if you tell me that Rauf Aregbesola's name is one of those that are popping up, why will I be surprised? The name of Asiwaju Tinubu can pop up. The name of Professor Yemi Osinbajo can pop up. The name of Rauf Aregbesola can pop up. The name of every other person too can pop up. But at the end of the day, people are going to see what is the trajectory of performance of these people who we are putting forward. And I'm sure if the thing is eventually zoned to this part of the country, I am so convinced that our people will be good enough to want to put their best forward. So for me, Rauf Aregbesola, I do not see any leadership position that you put down today that he is not qualified for.